guys, welcome back to Spelling and Word Study. My name is Mrs. Rhoades and I'm here to get you started on Unit 23, long O, using the vowel teams OE and OW. Please take a second to gather your materials. You'll need this red book open to page 143. You will also need some colorful pens, markers, or crayons. Remember, whatever I mark on my board, you should be marking on your page. Please save room for a key as well. All right, so we have been learning about long vowels. We know that there are 5 long vowels and they each say their name. So long A says A, E says E, I says I, O says O, and U says oo or you. So we have been learning about different ways to make a long vowel sound, and we learned that we can put combinations of letters together. Sometimes we can put 2 vowels together and they will work as a team to make one sound. So we looked at long A vowel teams, long E vowel teams. Last week we talked about long O. We looked at the OA pattern in words like boat and road. And we found out that when we put the O and the A together, they make a long O sound. However, that long O sound usually appears in the middle of a word. So today we're going to learn about 2 more vowel teams that also make the O sound, but they show up at the end of a word. So let's start by reading our list. Please repeat after me, and as you do, listen for that O sound. Here we go. Bow, foe, grow, low, mow, row, show, snow, toe, and toe. Did you hear that O sound? Perfect. Okay, so one of the vowel teams that I want you to learn today is the OE vowel team. When we see O and E next to each other at the end of a word, they're going to make the O sound. So we see that in the word foe. A foe, by the way, is an enemy. Somebody that you fight with or don't get along with, they are your foe. We also see it in the word toe. This kind of toe is a body part, like ouch, I stubbed my toe. Another time you're going to see this pattern is in the word doe, which is a female deer. Okay? Over here, red box equals OE vowel team, and it's going to make a long O sound. Now, of course, there are rule breakers, right? Because I just told you that foe and toe and doe all make a long O sound. But pretty soon you're going to come across this word, which is shoe, and that makes a totally different sound. So try to just memorize these 3, foe, doe, and toe, and you'll be all set. All right, there is another vowel team that is very common, and it is OW. We see it in the word bow, grow, low, mow, row, show, snow, and toe. This is a very good vowel team to know because it shows up in a lot of words. So over here, blue box equals OW vowel team, and that will also make a long O sound. But nothing in English is simple, right? Because you've seen OW before in words that have a totally different sound. Words like how, cow, and now. and bigger words like town and clown. So that's the tricky thing. When you see OW, you have to try out both sounds. Does this word sound right if I put in ow in it or if I put in O in it? Grow isn't a word. Grow, get bigger, is a word. Low isn't a word, but low, the opposite of high, is a word. So sometimes you're just going to have to try out both sounds, ow and o, and see what makes sense. Of course, a word like this is going to be even trickier because B-O-W can be pronounced bow, like she had a pretty bow in her hair, or bow, like a bow and arrow, but it can also be pronounced bow, like after their performance they took a bow. So in that case, using your ear isn't enough. You're going to have to look at the context of your sentence. Whatever you're reading about, you're going to have to decide if bow or bow makes more sense. I know, our language is wacky. All right, but the important thing to know is that all of our OW words this week can be pronounced with a long O sound. Okay, next I want to draw your attention to some homophones. Remember, homophones are two or more words that sound the same but are spelled differently and have different meanings. So we already talked about the toe, right? I'm just going to say this kind of toe means part of the foot, right? You have a big toe, a baby toe, all those. So this, though, is pronounced the same as this. This kind of toe is like a tow truck, right? So when you tow something, you pull it behind. So if your car breaks down on the side of the highway and it needs to be fixed at a garage, you're going to call for a tow truck, and the tow truck will pull, it will tow your car to the nearest mechanic. Okay, so toe and toe are both homophones. I don't see any other homophones on our list this week. So this is just a quick review. Toe and toe are homophones. We have a few blends. This week we have the GR in grow. Notice the G and the R both keep their own sound and blend together, grow. And then we see that again in snow. The S and the N each keep their own sound. So anything in a pink box is a blend. But then we have something like this. The SH is not a blend because the S and the H are not keeping their own sounds. This is not S-O. Instead, the S and the H are coming together to make a whole new sound. SH says sh. So we call that a digraph. And hopefully that's familiar to you. So all of our words end with either OE or OW, and they either start with a single consonant, a blend, or a digraph. All right, so the last thing I want to talk about as we go through our list is parts of speech. So some of our words this week are going to be nouns, people, places, and things. Some of them are going to be verbs. Those are action words. And then one of them is going to be an adjective. I'm not sure we've talked about adjectives yet, but those are describing words. They add detail to a noun. So, bow is a noun. Whether we're talking about the bow in a girl's hair, or a bow around her waist, or we're talking about a bow and arrow. Either way, this kind of bow and this kind of bow, they're both nouns. A foe is an enemy. That's a person you fight against. So that's a noun. To grow means to get bigger or smarter or wiser or longer. So that is a verb. Growing is something people do, and animals and plants. Low is an adjective. It describes something. I can put my books away on the high shelf, or I can put them on the low shelf. If mom takes my temperature, it's either going to be high or low. So that is a describing word. Mow is a verb. If you mow the lawn, you're cutting the grass. So in the summer, your parents probably mow the lawn quite often. Row can be a verb. If you're in your boat, you row your boat, right? That is a verb. It can also be a noun, though, if we're talking about a place. I sit in the front row. I sit in the back row. A row can be a place. Show can be a verb. I can show you my project. I can show you my report card. But it can also be a noun, a thing, right? This is my favorite show. Or this weekend we're going to see a show at the theater. Snow can be a verb. If we're talking about stuff falling from the sky, watch it snow, or I can't believe how much it is snowing. But that white stuff that's falling from the sky, that snow, is also a noun. So hopefully you're realizing a lot of our words can be used in different ways. They can be used as nouns or verbs. Toe is a body part, right? Big toe, little toe. This kind of toe is a verb. When you tow something, you pull it behind you. All right, boys and girls, that's all I have for you today. Good luck, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.